This is your Peace News for Saturday, July 27th, 2013. Silver is trading at $20 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at $97 per Bitcoin. Peace News is brought to you by friends of WeUseCoins.com and by listeners like you. Minutes after Tamar Boggs heard that 5-year-old Jocelyn Rojas had gone missing, he noticed a suspicious car careening in and out of the side streets of his neighborhood. The 15-year-old was hanging out with some friends at an apartment on Thursday afternoon when he heard the news, so he and another friend took to their bikes to search for Rojas. He told reporters that one car in particular caught his eye. It turned around at the top of a hill where several police officers were standing. It began turning in and out of side streets in the neighborhood. Boggs chased the car on his bicycle. He got close enough to the vehicle to see a little girl inside. He made eye contact with the driver, an older white male who apparently got spooked enough to let the little girl out of his car. Boggs said the girl ran into his arms and asked to see her mother. She's since been reunited with her family, and the town is hailing 15-year-old Boggs as a hero. This next story brought to you by friends of blockchain.info. Store your bitcoins in the free wallet app at blockchain.info. The cost of solar panels has dropped 80% in Spain, but if you were thinking of buying some to save money on energy, you can forget about it. People calling themselves the government of Spain issued a royal decree this week taxing sunlight gatherers. The state now threatens you with fines as much as 30 million euros if you illegally gather sunlight without paying a tax. The tax is just enough to make sure that homeowners cannot gather and store solar energy cheaper than state-sponsored providers. Before the decree, it took 12 years to recover the investment in a residential installation of 2.5 kilowatts of power. Following the decree, it will take an additional 23 years. Corporations always consider it unfair when another company can do things faster, smarter, or cheaper than they can. The buggy whip industry once protested cars. Today, landline telecom companies have to compete with wireless, and they don't like it. Now we see protests about VoIP, Voice over Internet Protocol. Technology marches on, but France does not like it. The French solution is to tax Skype because it has an unfair advantage. The ultimate irony is that France's preposterous unfair advantage argument was lampooned by French economist Frédéric Bastiat back in 1845 when he penned Petition of the Candlemakers. In his article, candlemakers were incensed that the light of the sun could be had for free. The sun's unfair advantage was to the detriment of fair industries, who could not compete against the sun's price. The crippling effect regulators have on technology has real consequences. Rather than saving money on energy and passing the savings on to consumers, which would result in higher quality of life for all, instead innovation is hampered and opportunities for improvement are missed. And in classic politician style, the new decree is written in such an unscientific and unspecific way that it actually criminalizes the opening of one's eyes. Quote, if you get caught collecting photons of sunlight for your own use, you can be fined as much as 30 million euros. But good luck collecting a tax in Bitcoin. Learn about Bitcoin at WeUseCoins.com. Some 8 weeks after the revelations that shook Washington and made Edward Snowden a household name, the NSA whistleblower appears to be getting everything he wanted. Independent polls reveal that the public is increasingly concerned that the government is not finding the right balance between surveillance and privacy. 40% see the NSA activities not merely as intrusions on some Americans' privacy rights, but as unjustified intrusions. Snowden may walk free. When his identity was first revealed by The Guardian, Snowden worried that he may be abducted or killed by the CIA for his leak. Holed up in a hotel in Hong Kong, it wasn't clear whether or not Snowden would end up back in the United States or face criminal charges. Now it appears that Snowden is about to become a resident of Moscow, a guy with a job and an apartment who's waiting to figure out which Central American country he wants to retire to. Peace News is brought to you by friends of WeUseCoins.com and by listeners like you. Please share this episode with your friends and donate Bitcoin at peacenewsnow.com/donate. Remember to subscribe, share our YouTube videos, and catch us on the next news network. For Peace News Now, I'm Derek J, reminding you that peace is the way.